So welcome to your Heka Healing Oracle Reading. So these are indeed Oracle readings that I offer, and it's all based around the template and the energy and the frequency of Heka. Heka means magic and medicine. It's very, very, very powerful Egyptian frequency that we use for manifestation. It's what I call an ascension template, meaning we work with the formulas of alchemy. So intention plus action equals creation. So I work with Heka, the Heka god, who is the god of magic and medicine, but he also has two other creator gods that he works very closely with. One is Sia, which is the god of perception. So you have to have a vision and an idea to be able to take direction, otherwise you're just floating around. The second god is Hu. Hu will breathe the idea into being. He's the god of the spoken word, god of utterance. So when you get into the Hu energy, he will assist you in bringing that thought into a thing, meaning you'll start to feel some physicality coming to that manifestation, and you'll start to see the bridge building before you in bringing it into physical form. And then when we get to Heka, Heka is like the cataclysmic kaboom moment, which kind of gives you the idea of moving forward and what it's going to look like in the world. So that's like 3-stage process. Now, to know more about this, just pop onto the video series and the masterclass of the Heka codes. This is also a mentorship one-on-one, but I've also working with these gods in a card reading as well, which is really, really powerful for us to break down, kind of like the process, where we're at, where we need to go, and really get that directive guidance through the Heka codes, right? So as you know, it's a 3-stage process. So we have 3 columns. It's a shame we can't video from the top, but I'll be showing you the cards that I'm picking. So we have a 3-stage process right now. So we have one card, which is here, hieroglyphs. That is the hieroglyphs of Sia. Okay, that sits at the top of my desk there. And then we have Hu, which is our second column here. Hu is a spiral hieroglyph. Okay, and then we have Heka, which have got the famous Heka arms there. If some of you may know, may not know, you can see in the middle if you look kind of closely. That there, it's not that clear, is basically this. And Heka is always depicted with his hands like this because it basically means you're reaching for the divine. You're bringing it in. That's what it looks like, right? So there is actually a very, very powerful Heka statue in the Egyptian Museum, which is actually a depiction of what a god or a pharaoh would look like, you know what I mean, being the embodiment of Heka. So, he is, for most of us, the Heka statue. So if you ever see that, that's Heka. That is what Heka looks like. You've probably got some hands on your head that also look like that as well. So anyway, I wanted to bring this reading through because I wanted to dive into a reading all to do with the solstice. So the solstice is all about that transformational turnstile. It's that part in the year because it's June, so it's halfway through the year. June is always such a powerful month for changing direction. I always call it the marble robot rolling up the hill, going over the other side, and that is what June is always about. So here we are at the solstice, which is a change in direction, because now all of a sudden, if you're in a certain part of the world, you're moving into the sun, the summer, and if you're in where I'm from, which is Africa, particularly Cape Town, we're a little bit cold this side. So we're going inward because we're going into our winter solstice, So it all depends on where you are in the world. However, the energy of the solstice brings powerful, powerful opportunity for transformation because it's that moment of change, huge change. So we get a chance to kind of lie down into dormancy consciously and through an empowered way, what we don't need, and actually really actively bring the idea, the vision, which is Sia, bring the idea in, like, where are we going? What does it look like? And if we have blockages on that, we need to clear those and get right with it. Do you know what I mean? The same as Hu. If we want to bring ideas into being, we need to unblock the pathway. If you're scared of landing, if you can't come down on the runway, we need to figure out why. You know what I mean? And then Heka is the platform. Are you thinking big enough? Think big. Think big. You know what I mean? It's like what does that manifestation look like? And and we don't dim the light on that, So as we move into this part of the year, we are all kind of going into this powerful deepening into the transformational process. We have been very much in it for the first half of 2024 as it is. So we're going to be going deeper now because the more you give your sacred yes, the more the energy comes in, and it is time for change. So this is a collective reading. Go with what resonates, leave the rest behind, okay? But what happens is when we read each column, so each column now, I showed you the cards. I'm going to pick 3 cards that go beneath Sia, 3 cards that go beneath Hu, 3 cards that go beneath Heka. And one column will give us a lot of information. Then we'll move to Hugh and same things, and Heka. But then when each one will give you a very much of an oracle reading. But then when you weave the three columns together, brings you a whole different dynamic and understanding of what this whole reading is about. So get comfortable, because this one is quite in depth, you know? So let's go. So the first of all, the cards that I work with are many, many different cards, because they come from many different creators. So I'm going to show you which cards I'm working with today. So these ones I'm working with is the Oracle of Portals. These are such beautiful, beautiful cards. So these are the ones that are holding the reading up today. And then what happens is I add cards to them. But these are what I call the main frame, as it were. So we are now tapping into Seer. So the first column is Seer. Okay, this is about the vision. This is about the intention. You know, for us as you know, conscious creators, where we are in our beings, we've gone through a lot of dark shadow. We've been working tirelessly for lifetimes now, actually. And now we're at that point where we're really, really gaining new insight on many, many things. So we want to know if there's any blockages. They want to know like what we should be doing. We want confirmation. Whatever Seer, the god of vision and perception, wants to tell us right now, he's going to let us know. So let us just pull some cards out now, and I will show you as I go what each and every one means. I need a bigger desk. Okay. Right, so the first card. Okay. They are all blue in color, first of all. So the first card we have here, if you can see, that is the underworld. Now, if you look at this card, we have the moon. So we have the guidance of the divine feminine energy above us, right? And this scene, if you can see, there is a lady walking down. She's there. She's walking down. She looks like she's actually running. She's like almost like she's very, very willing to go into the depths of that beautiful blue portal, right? So the underworld, as we know, is the womb. It is basically the place where, well, we used to fear the dark. But look at this card. This is now the underbelly, the underworld, you know, the womb, the place that we fought for so long through fear of being here. Yet in this depiction, the underworld is beauteous. It's got this beautiful blue aqua water, and it's saying, come, come, come. And she's very, very happily running down towards that spiral in the guidance and having divine blessings bestowed upon her by the full moon there. Okay, so full moon, as we know, is major transformation. Full moon is divine feminine. Full moon is letting go. So now we have let go of the fear. We are able to now go to the underworld willingly. We're wanting to go there because we know that is the portal of rebirth, transformation, and resurrection. We know now. So this is a card of confirmation. Say how much you've shifted, how much we've shifted. We no longer fear going into the underworld, whereas before all we wanted to do is keep in the cosmos because it's what we know and it's in our eyes deemed safer. No, this is now a willingness because we're protected and all is well. This is a beautiful card, is it not? Because it is a beautiful thing to be able to go into the womb willingly, right? Because we know that that's where because we've got stuck because we wouldn't go there. So this is a powerful thing. So now this card, which can't write this stuff, transformation. I have been going on and on about a moth. Is it a moth? It's a moth turning into a butterfly. Transformation. And it's a double 30, it's a 33, double 3. So transformation and 3, intention plus action equals creation. 3 is the alchemical formula. 3 is the twin flame triad where the divine feminine, the masculine comes together. And as a result of that, it's harmonious. That's the third circle because it's like comes in 3 circles. So transformation. So I'm always talking about, so as a result of being willing to go into the underworld now, it's like transformation is finally upon us, because think about why we weren't able to go through the transformational energy until now, because we had so much back work to do. That was going to happen when we were able to transcend, transmute, alchemize all of our dark low vibrations into the highest vibrations, and only then can transformation occur. Transformation is like a game of Tetris when you've like, you know, when all the, because that's what this life is all about. It's a capital GAME. It's game. You know, this is what we're here to play in this world, to figure the game out. So with Tetris, we have all of our life parts come together, and when they fit together to make sense, that is union. Call it soul retrieval. And only when that happens, all of those pieces burst into light and transformation can happen. But until that happens, until you allow and you've done the back work, that's what that, you know, we wait for that moment. But this is the card that's now come after the underworld, a willingness to go into the underworld. Transformation is upon us, and we are now moving in the right direction. Again, another card regarding the underwater realm. So there's a beautiful portal there. It's almost like we have now really, really received our mastery. We understand our mastery. We've kind of done the hard yards, right? Because now we're really, really happy and peaceful and just at ease with being in the underworld or the underwater realm. That those places that were deemed as dark or unknown are no longer a fearful thing for us, whereas before it was like, oh no, we're not doing that. So here we are with water. Water is emotions. Water is heart. Okay. And now if you look at 25, 2 + 5 is 7, which is completion. So with this run of cards here, the underworld, the transformation, and the underwater realm, it's like they're all massive portals, aren't they? So it's actually not telling us that there are any problems here. There is no blocks. So the vision, okay, is to continue with that openness and of freedom, because that's what this is. The openness of freedom, of being able to move into the next cycle, because go into the womb, rebirth, resurrection. Okay, so we've gone through the death phase. Those are the years that have been really intense behind us. Transformation is not the death phase in a sense. It's a becoming phase, but it's still stingy sore, and there's a lot of work that we need to do to kind of like bust out of it. There's a lot of chaos with that, but it's a good thing. So we are in a year of transformation. It's happening for you. Not it's happening for you. It's coming to you, out of you, whatever. It's not taking you out. Nothing bad is going on here. And the underwater realm, we're just vibing. You know what I mean? Now I like to do a second card. So I'm going to do proper healing, Heka Healing Oracle Reading here, which I would do if you were doing a session with me. So now the cards that I like to work with now is these ones by Colette Baron Reed. A lot of you might already have these. These cards are just awesome, okay? And it's number 7, because we're all talking about completion codes and everything like that. So we asked Sia, okay, thank you so much for the message of transformation and all of the above. Can we now please have a little bit of an elaboration on that? So we're going to pull a second card on the same column of perception. Okay, so let's see what gets added to what. Right, this is my favorite card, the land in between. I get this all the time, or the land between. Okay, so the land between, let me explain this card to you. So here we are, okay, for a long time we've been stuck here, and we haven't been able to get over there because we've been so focused in all of the work that we've had to do. We've been so focused on the destination. We've been so focused, I've got to get there. I've got to get more money in the bank. I have to find my beloved. I have to make that business work. There's a certain point where you're like, I have to have that. And when I have that, everything will be fine. That is separation. When you're looking at something outside of yourself and saying, when I get there, it's separation, okay? What this card is saying is this bit in between, we can call it neutrality. We can even call it the womb, the underworld, because this is the card it pairs with, right? So the underworld, okay, is the womb, is the neutral space. So think about it. This is death, rebirth, and then resurrection. And then you'll only go and do the jump over that crevice again and again and again. But what happens now is what they mean by the land between is we start to take great comfort and the place, we don't want to be in between. We want to be there. But then when we let go of control and impatience and all of that lack, all of a sudden we don't really care about the outcome because we know all is well. The trust has come back. So if you trust, then you just know everything's going to tick over and chill. What else is there? You can just be in the land between, relax, enjoy the ride, and just know that everything is taken care of. And look at this. This is kind of like the land between. If you look at that closely, it's a beautiful little mecca. There's a bridge there, and you're like, actually, it's quite nice here. Who wants to rush off here? Get me a cocktail. Do you know what I mean? Because the bridge is there. I don't have to panic. The bridge is not going anywhere. Yeah, I'm just going to chill. That is, people, balance. That is balance. That is if you are here, you are in your inner authority. If you are here, you are in harmonious flow with the universe. If you are here, you're manifesting everything you need because you are a vibrational match. So that is what I'm saying. Going into the underworld has allowed us to feel safe enough to be in that harmonious match and to receive in the full. Amazing, right? So now transformation card is paired with the Royal You. Yes, you are sovereign, okay? So as a result of us now being allowed, because we've allowed ourselves to go into the transformation, well, that's no good, is it? We now have the Royal You. So the transformation is taking you where? To your sovereignty. Your sovereignty is your inner authority. It's your kingdom of heaven is within you. It's I am love. I am God consciousness. I am the Christed ones. I never left that place. I am the royal me, right? You're finally accepting. I've got a crown somewhere. There. That's why I have this crown here, by the way, to remind me of my sovereignty. Just if you wondered what that was there. I don't walk around with it on my head. I should. But like, sorry, this is mirrored, so I have to point there. That's the crown, okay? So transformation and the royal you, okay? So the underwater realm is now coupled with beyond the ordinary. So now if you can allow, working with this now, if you can allow this vision and flow to just basically come through, like the water in this card, coupled with this card here, beyond the ordinary, you are extraordinary. So if you've now moved through this process of being okay with being in the room, transformation is unfolding, your sovereignty's there, you know, the underwater realm, yeah, cool, really happy for that. That takes you to this place beyond the ordinary. We're tired of being bland. We're tired of being less than. We're tired of our own bullshit and our own prisons that we put in place. But now we know that it's not true. So now that transformation in the underwater realm is going to take you to beyond the ordinary. So let's just say beyond. You know what I mean? So that is the cusp that we're on in June. Okay, we want to go beyond June, right? This is what's going to happen if you follow this guidance. This is what's going to happen if you hold the vision that all is well. Everything has unfolded exactly as you've asked it. This is what it looks like when it's working out for you, all right? Everything is fine. So what now? Now you can go beyond the ordinary, which is that itch you haven't been able to scratch for so long. There is nothing for you to do. Don't even interfere with any of this. Just let it flow. You're okay. You're good. The cards say so. So just let it flow. I've got a letting your higher self lead meditation. Go do that. Let your higher self lead. You're not the one who's in control here. In fact, that's what's got to go. Beyond the ordinary. Okay, so that is your seer vision. That is the intention, how we should be looking into the next phase of 2024 and beyond. Now we move into hue. Hue is a spiral. Hue is about human, bringing the divine into the physical, right? Divine into the physical. Hue is the god of utterance, so he will help you speak your idea into being. It'll start breathing and it will start having a heartbeat. You know, the runway will be created so you can walk. So we need to know on this one, what exactly do we need to know about the runway? Okay, so now we've got the vision. Okay, we understand and know that we're in the womb and everything's transforming, wonderful and lovely. This is where we shift gears a little bit and we start to bring it into the physical. How do we bring this into the physical, right? How do we do this? What do we need to know? What do we need to understand in bringing the idea into being? And that's going to be different for all of us as to how we want to be, because we have a unique soul design, each and every one of us. So how do we start expressing that in the world and start to bring that into physical form? So like the intention plus action equals creation, we are now at the intention action. We're now at the action stage, right? Okay, so these are beautiful cards. So your first card to go with, like, how do we kind of like land the runway? Magic. Okay, I have a picture on my wall there. It says magic is something you make. Magic is something you create. This is you. There is a portal there. This is your movie, okay? So magic. So when we say magic, straight away we think of Harry Potter and like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Magic is all around you in every single moment. You know what I mean? Like, you know, how do you sit there and go, well, I'm going to go for a coffee. And then all of a sudden you're sat in a coffee shop and you're having a cup of coffee and you have manifested the money to have that cup of coffee. You've created a completely different scene in every single moment. You're always working with magic, right? So magic is not something that is away from you. It's something that's within you. So you have to start now bringing the two worlds together, the cosmic Magdalene with the earthly Magdalene, even if you're a guy. So the womb and the heart have to come together. Creativity meets heart, crosses through the solar plexus, which is action. Like, you know, it's like we have to start bringing the magic through, and it's at her fingertips. Look at that. She is in control of that. And the magic is going to come from your divine feminine. So acknowledge the magic as you are as an alchemist. And she's looking at a mirror. So look in the mirror. You have to start accepting the truth of who you are. Self-realization, or being able to be in your true north, is actually knowing thyself. So the way this is you're going to land and move forward is you can't go through the security scanners until you've basically taken all that shit in your pockets out that you don't need, all of those backpacks that you're carrying for someone else, whatever. Just you needs to go through that security thing, and you're just going to, like, nothing will bleep. You'll just go through, and then you're on to your next destination, getting on a magical plane, going somewhere else. So you've got to believe that you are magic. Magic meets the person, right? Then if you do that, graduation is yours. Okay, so you're going up to retrieve, like, you're going to graduate, basically. So what this is about now, so let's just look at the third one, because I want to fly through these a little bit. Okay, so this is sunrise. So magic, graduation, and sunrise. Okay, now this is quite interesting. These three cards together, they've woven a little bit more intricately than the first row. So we have magic. So know your magic, right? So I've just explained that. Graduation, right? Graduation. If you know your magic, you're going to graduate as a master. This is what this year is all about. You have to understand, know that you were a master awakening. Now you're a master awakened. That's the only way you're going to pass go. It's the only way you're going to get on that magical plane I speak of, to change direction and go somewhere else. Self-realization, okay? Self-realization, okay? So now, then, if that happens, then you are the one in the driving scene. There's your inner authority right now, right there. So that is Stonehenge. Stonehenge is masculine in comparison to the stone circle of Avebury. That's divine feminine. This is masculine. The sun is rising. Sun is Ra. Sun is rebirth. Okay, very connected to Hathor, because she's the daughter of Ra. Very connected to Sekhmet and all of the above. You know, and there she is, the divine feminine, commanding the sun as it rises, right? Saying, come, we're doing this now. But she's standing in front of a masculine frequency template stone circle up on the Gaia energy, which is divine feminine. So there's a beautiful melding of twin flame frequencies in here. Sun, masculine, even though in the very, very beginning the sun was feminine, but whatever, everything was feminine in the beginning. But you get what I'm saying. Sun rays, that's your power. That's your, you know, when I talk about proclaiming your roar to the sun, that's proclaiming your power, right? That's what lions do. They roar at the sun. Then you have the stone circle. That's a portal. Then you have her. She's feminine. She stood on Gaia. So there's a perfect mixture between the masculine stones and the sun and her and Gaia. So that is a balance, but she has got her inner authority popping on fleek there. She is like calling everything in. So, okay, so we get what Hugh is saying, that you know, what needs to happen for you to land on your runway is there has to be an acceptance of self. There can't be anything else. It's a no-brainer, because then you will graduate. And then once that's done, you will be very much embodied in your own inner authority, and you'll be able to create whatever it is you want. So this reading is not about that idea that you've got and how do I get more money in the bank. This is about you becoming and what is needed for you to become. So I want to take some more cards, okay, with elaborating like I did on the first run with these cards, which are the Oracle of the 7 energies. So we understand now what's going to happen if you obviously call your magic in and all of the above. But we want to kind of get more information on each card there and see what it says. Right. So great and full, okay? So now, for you to be able to, let's say, activate your blueprint in its fullness, great and full is the card that you've got there. There is a beautiful, I mean, that looks quite celebratory, doesn't it? It's like filling your cup, you know, all the magic there. It's a chalice. It's also indicative of the Holy Grail, and the Holy Grail is within you, right? The Holy Grail is your power, your strength, your knowing, right? But it's also as well great and full, all right? When you have fully activated your blueprint, that is great and full. So what do we mean by that? Your blueprint is your gifts and abilities and your superpowers. If you have an idea of what's in your toolbox, right? A little bit of an idea. You need to acknowledge that now. Even go away and write it down on a piece of paper. You need at least 4 superpowers that you're aware of. If there's anything less than that, then we need to do a session. But like 4 superpowers, right? If not more, okay? That's going to dictate to you. So if you're going, well, if I've got like a monkey wrench in my toolbox and a this, that, and the other, that's going to give you very, very clear idea of what your purpose is. Now, your purpose is in the shadow, all of the headache times, the real hectic stuff you've lived in your life, that will be your purpose in the shadow, because you have to learn. You have to become a master. So that's how you know what your purpose is. So if your purpose is loss, guess what? You're an abundance master. If your purpose is fear, guess what? You're a fierce warrior of Sekhmet, because that was my journey. Do you know what I mean? And my whole life has been full of fear. And now I'm just courageous. You know what I mean? Even though I still fear a lot of shit. Do you know what I mean? But I do it anyway. But it's like, that's how you understand what your purpose is. And then when you understand your purpose, how are you going to express that in the world? Now that's a choice. That could be a million ways. Could be a YouTube channel, could be a course, could be a book. You've got to express it. You have to express it. So that is what this run Q is telling you and guiding you to do, that it is imperative, if you want to walk through those doors that I speak about to graduate, it is imperative that you get real with yourself now. No more going to a healer every week. No more living in victim consciousness. No more saying I can't do it, because you can. Because the resistance that you're feeling is that in a narrative. So you've got to get clear with yourself now. Do you know what I mean? And people say, well, I don't have enough money to do that. I don't have enough money to do this. It's sometimes actually sabotage created in that way without you even realizing it, because I did it. That keeps you in the place, that keeps you still, so you don't have to go and do the thing, right? And we sabotage ourselves all the time. I went through a big sabotage yesterday to do with my health. And I want to be well, I want to be strong, I want to take all my supplements. And then I had a huge binge on chocolate, which was unnecessary. I felt ridiculously sick. I felt awful. Woke up today, felt crap. So what did that do then? Well, it stopped me from getting to the wellness peak that I'm trying to get to. Because let me just stay here, because it's familiar. So all of these programs you're running are preventing you from your magic. Because what happens if you're magic? My God, the whole world's going to change. My whole world's going to change. I don't know what that looks like. Fear, 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 fear. There's the sabotage run. Let's just basically keep my abundance block going, because then I don't have to do any of this and I can stay small. But now what's happening is your head and your heart is freaking out, going, no, we're not fucking doing this anymore. Can't do it. Because you need to be great and full, because that's the truth of who you are. Okay? So now the next one, graduation, call of the muse, okay? Which essentially you are the muse, okay? Call of the muse, okay? Who are you worshipping? Graduation, who are you worshipping? Who's number one in your life? Who should be number one in your life? You. That's it. That matches the twin flame card that I just spoke about before, because for you to actually step into your superpowers and really get this gig going, listen, I could sit there and say to you, forget about all this shit. Just go out and create something and do that thing that you love. But guess what? I got to be truthful. It's going to be hard, and it might not be as great as you want it to, because you got to do the inner work. You got to do the backstory, so you can actually have a real clear foundation runway to walk upon. So once you do the inner work, the pavement's already set for you. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about union. So I'm talking about you not seeking out there. Dear friend of mine, you know who we are, basically shared with me yesterday, if you're out there seeking, you're blocking your wisdom. Makes sense, right? So who holds your wisdom? Your higher self. Who is your higher self? Your beloved. Who is your beloved? You. Okay? Call of the muse. That's what I feel that card is all about. She's dancing. She's beautiful, because you are as well. And if you do that, that's graduation. Union is graduation. So this is what needs to happen here. You've got to start like turning from out there and coming in here and taking action on something that you can commit to that is going to change the game forever. Maybe it's a Tablets of Light tour journey. Oh, I don't have enough money for that. Well, that's what offerings are all about. That's what paying the altar or paying spirit is all about. You have to give up something which is a challenge to you. And then when you do that, that's when spirit meets you halfway. That's the golden key. That's how you unlock it. Everything is just like in flow after that, and union is upon you, right? Because if you're going to keep holding back and not committing to something which could stretch you a little bit, that your spirit ain't going to just come to you. You have to show willing in that way, because that's what in ancient times, that's how it works. That's what it's all about. So you have to see that you have to give a commitment of some sort for spirit to meet you halfway. And then you understand it's not about creating the things or going out there and getting it done. It's actually about you being willing to receive and letting your higher self lead, giving up something which could actually rock your world a little bit, and then knowing that you're going to let go of control and fear and panic and let your higher self lead. And then once you've walked through that initiation, then everything starts to flow. That is truth. And I know it. Why? Because I've walked it so many times. I've walked it through drug addiction, 3 nervous breakdowns, all sorts of things. And so many hardships in my life, which we've all had, because we all have a story, we all have initiations, we all have lessons that we signed up for, but we walk through them. We have to. Otherwise, you will stay in the same place. So this is where you're at right now. You want your runway to build. This is what Hugh is telling you. It's time to commit, right? And go and grab what's yours, which is you, you know? So now, a deep breath. Now this one goes right next to this one, which was essentially, this is the twin flame card I spoke of, because, you know, you've got as above, so below, so within, so without. She's commanding her inner authority. Stones are masculine, blah, blah, blah. Just explained all of that. Putting this card next to it, a deep breath. Well, this is the ultimate of trust, isn't it? This is on the run of the cards that I've just explained now. So now, like, it's amazing that this card is actually at the bottom of that explanation there, of that column, because that's where you're going to arrive at, okay? And then a deep breath is just inhale, let go and let God. Trust. That is where you're coming to. So Hugh is telling us that this is the turnstile to the second half of June and beyond. This is the only way through, by you committing, giving up something, doing something, committing to something that is going to just stretch the boundaries a little bit, and then you let go. It's a bit like doing that bungee jump. Spirit's going to come up and give you a little bit of a kick of the ass, but you're doing it anyway. That is where the magic is going to happen. It takes for you to let go. Now, I've just done an energy update on that and a meditation. Second time I mention it. Go and do the meditation. Feel what it feels like to let go. So Hugh is not giving us any specific directive of things to do right now. He is just telling you the magic is within you. It needs to be claimed now. Sovereignty is true. Everything else is bullshit. You have to accept yourself. And the only way that you can do that is by letting go of control, and then receiving is just a natural occurrence after that, a natural outcome. All right. Now we come to the final. Heka. This is the big explosive, what it looks like on the outside. All right. So now, so what does the platform look like? You know, what is Heka, the magic of the god of magic and medicine? What is he telling us that we need to know about this? Okay. Oh, it's really hot now. The energy's flying. So exciting. So let's see what Heka says. What have you got for us? Okay. Okay. And this is Heka. This is what Heka, remind you, that's the energy coming in now. Okay. Realm of the Fae. Oh, magical and wonderment. Okay. And then the celestial realm. Okay. So we have Realm of the Fae. Here we go. That is a magical enchanted forest right there. And it's all about the elementals, but it's all about the earth as well. And it's like, this is very much an earth card, because the Fae, the elementals, you know, like our star beings and everything like that, you know, our brothers and sisters, you know, even the gods and goddesses to an extent, they're all from the stars, star temples and the above. But like the Fae, okay, realm of the Fae. I mean, look, it just gives you magic, wonder, awe. But where is its location? It's here on Gaia. Okay, so we're here to embody that in this physical body, in this incarnation on Gaia. No more shooting off to the stars and searching and seeking for our magic in the cosmos, because we are the cosmos, because we are the reflection of heaven and earth in this lifetime on this earth. So realm of the Fae, okay? And then the next card is New World. So this here, it's a bit of a funny old vision on this card, actually. It's actually got Paris there, so it's all to do with love and everything like that. But this is the New World. And if you look at behind there, it's actually a city. It's kind of like a brand new city of light. So the new world is the new earth, but that can only be born from inside of us, so we can create it out there. And then the final one is the celestial realm. Now, the celestial realm is basically here to help us, assist us, and guide us very much in this physical realm. When we were in Egypt, the angels, when I sung the angels in at the Great Sphinx, it blew everybody's doors off. I burst into tears. And the angels are all around us, and I'm very, very connected to Archangel Michael and so on and so forth. But they came in his legions of light, very strong. And like that was like the understanding that heaven has now met earth. Now, when we were at the Great Sphinx, the Great Sphinx is an altar. So the Sphinx is the connection between heaven and earth. So heaven and earth comes between the Great Sphinx. And that's where I called the angels in through that portal. So the celestial realm, we know the angels are always with us and all that kind of thing. But I think this means something a little bit more important, because if we want to go to the full embodiment of that, you are the celestial realm. We're really coming into this oneness now. So celestial realm. So realm of the Fae, parties on Gaia, new world, we have to be here to build it. So if we're still shooting off to the cosmos and really not wanting to turn up, we're fearful of being seen, we have to look at those shadows, because that's what's stopping you and keeping you in a stagnant pause. Now, that is exactly where you will be. Eventually you will move, yeah, but don't you want to get the rivers flowing? Do you know what I mean? And that takes you to kind of actively turn up and meet it halfway, right? So the new world is being born through you. And then, of course, the celestial realm is like heaven on earth. So it's all talking about this coming together, right? But we know what we have to do. There is nothing physical here that I can say, right, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. This is an internal job. It's an inside job. So now it's about working with this transformational phase. And I'm telling you now, to cut through all of the distortion and this meditation and that meditation, all this stuff, it's about letting go of control. When you trigger, and you don't like what you see and it's unpreferred in your life, you are controlling. And usually there's a contraction that goes on, a constriction. And that's where control kicks in and we let go of the flow of life and the cosmos through us, right? What if when those triggers come in, you pause, you take control of this in a good way and you expand. So you create a new program of energy in your physical being that when a trigger comes in, we expand to greet it and allow it rather than contracting. Once that happens and you train your energy and muscle memory, then you are able to expand, then you'll move through this portal. And then what will happen effortlessly is you will just receive. So try to come away from, what do I need to do to receive? Let me go and get a massage. No, that's not it. If you go to the recent energy update, I explain all of this. And I've now realized since coming back from Egypt that the real task at hand for this year is so little about us doing. And it's more about us stepping back and allowing all of the cosmos, all of the things, all of the beautiful things to come through us now, because we've done the hard yard. So all you have to do is this. And I know that there was a Zen thing that was shared, a Zen thing, it's actually an ancient story. The master gives the student he says, you've got to let go. And he said, how do you let go? And he's like, it's too hard to let go. I find my meditation so difficult. And he gave him a very hot cup of tea. Well, he put the cup of tea in his hand and he poured it full of hot tea. And the cup got hotter and hotter and hotter. And he said, don't let go of it. Don't let go of it, until the student could not hold it anymore. And then all of a sudden he let go because it was burning him. And then the teacher said, that's how easy it is to let go. God, love it, right? So there you have it. Let go. Let go, let go, let go. That is the key, right? So now, what do we got here? Okay. This is actually very funny. Okay, so now the first card on the top there that goes with Realm of the Fae, like being an earth. You can't write this stuff. Let it go. Let it go. You know what I mean? Let it go. To come into your fullness, your incarnate, your spiritual being incarnate physically in the physical, heaven meets earth, as above, so below. Let it go. That's all I'm going to say on that card, because I've just gone in a big long rap about all of that. You know what I mean? So now, the new world, yeah? Here. Uncharted. Come on, get it the right way around. Uncharted sea. That's the one that goes with the new world. It is uncharted sea, because we don't know what this is going to look like. So it is a little bit, ooh, what's it all about? But this card is giving us action, though, at the same time, uncharted sea. Now, what's coming through for me is there is a map and compass. Now under the sea, if you look closely there is a compass. And here is there. We don't know what's going on. We're just sat here chilling, going, well, from where we can see, I don't know. I don't know which way we're going, all the rest of it. But underneath here, there is a whole thing going on. You're so fine. There is, you're being directed, you're being held, you're being guided. Everything is fine. But when you're above the sea, you're like, I don't know. So what does this tell us to do? Trust. Because this is your higher self here. This is what you ordained before you came here in spirit. But I want to go back to the uncharted sea, the unknown. So I would like you to entertain, from this moment onward, everything new. If you sit at your computer and you do this, if you're like me, you do the same old videos, change it. Which is why I'm sharing with you a Heka Healing Oracle reading. This is what came through this morning when I was being divinely guided. They were like, do a reading. And I was like, oh, I've never done that before. Why not? So here we are. So now here, the uncharted sea. Do things differently. You have to look at different things to bring different oxygen and energy into your space. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep bringing the same outcome, and you don't want that. This is about change. So now we're getting a bit practical. Now this does take a little bit of you to change direction, go in a different direction, do something different in your life. Doesn't matter whether it's actually to do with the spiritual path, as in like, I need to go to Sedona or whatever. No, I'm talking about everyday stuff. If you've not gone to yoga, go to yoga. If you haven't got a dog, get a dog. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to be a conscious creator like me on videos and things like that, share something different, do something different, because that is going to bring in fresh new frequency. And when the universe looks down at you, they're going to see a different energy coming from you. So in every moment, what is your contribution? This is where your practical power comes in. If you are giving the same old moaning, complaining, thinking the same way, doing the same old things, they don't see what you're doing. They see the same energy, which is low vibe. So if you can change it up, that's going to make your heart happy. Oh, wow, I did something different today. It was amazing. Take a day off work. Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? Do it. That is what's going to give the energy in your frequency change. And the spirit's going to see that. And that is how everything starts to move for you. Everything is frequency and vibration. So take this as a physical, that's what you need to do to change, to help change the course that you're sailing on, right? And then a grand symphony, celestial realm. This is very much about oneness. What song are you singing? And that just goes to, like off the run of the frequency song I was just talking about. What song are you singing? Be mindful and heartful of your contribution. So when you go and put I had a really bad comment on my YouTube yesterday. Somebody was very disrespectful. And I thought, you know what? That was their contribution. And they did it on my page, which I thought was a bit of a trigger. So that was nice. So whether they were being negative or not, my light triggered someone so much so to get the energy up to write a not very nice comment, which didn't bother me one little bit because I understood that my energy and light still got to them. That was my contribution, keeping it high. Had I turned around and gone, oh, blah, 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 I would have contributed to their frequency on their level. So I might as well have taken the post down. Do you see what I'm saying? So I was very aware of my contribution in that moment. Now their contribution, don't know what's going on in their life. Clearly, you know what I mean? But from their life, they were like, they're obviously not having a very nice time. So that's why they felt to take the energy and put it into a place. That's their contribution. So now Spirit's going to see that and they're going to go, oh, you want more of that then? And that person's life is just going to keep going. So in every thought, emotion, you got to catch yourself. Every time you contract, catch yourself, breathe, expand, open, let go, let go, let go. So now that is our contribution, letting go. So in every moment, you're going to let go. There is no doing. There is no needing to do the heavy lifting. If you have a challenge in your life, you are picked up the job of your higher self, give it back. Because when we're carrying the higher self's jobs, they turn up in our life as challenges. That's a good point. Go with that. Hand it back. Give it back to your higher self. Because all you were ever meant to do was to receive and to become and to flourish and just receive, receive, receive. So that is what this whole reading is about. So we finish on Celestial Realm. That is you. That is where heaven meets the earth. Grand Symphony. And also that's very much about co-creation with others as well. You're coming home. You are coming home because a symphony cannot be played by one person. It's a lot of sounds and together it's beauteous. On your own, that's okay. You know what I mean? But together, beauteous. So that is your reading. So now let's just take one card now from the Power of Surrender cards, which are awesome. What do we need to let go of? Now I've delivered this full reading. What do we need to let go of that's in the way of all of this that I've just shared with you? Seo, Hugh, and Heka. What do we got to let go so we can receive our Heka? Surrender the idea that you can fix someone, okay? It says here, it's time for a relationship shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. Now, I want to go back to this because straight away we think about someone else we're trying to fix. Maybe this is applicable to you. But this, when I read this, and I took a pause. It's you. This is me. Surrender the idea you can fix yourself. You're not supposed to be fixing yourself. You're not like healing and doing this and that. Back then, yeah, it was relevant. You will heal when you let go in an instant. We don't need to. Healing can happen in an instant when you let go. So yeah, it's time for a relationship shift with yourself. It doesn't work to try and fix yourself because there's nothing wrong with you. You're absolutely fine. You know, you're absolutely divine, perfect, innocent. You just got to let go. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing, which is letting go. So be accountable for that, what you're putting out in the world, which I just spoke about, what's your contribution. Once you become mindful of you coming in at the highest aspect, the highest frequency, your highest point of attraction in every single moment, that takes you to be a little bit of a bouncer at your door, boundaries. Yeah, start to live in your own house, right? Do you know what I mean? Don't let people come in and just walk in. You know what I mean? Live in your own house. This card is about you. And I just want to take one more off the top deck here. Surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. Surrender to your soul's path. That means letting go. So I think you could definitely take the tone of this reading as letting go. And I'm going to leave this with you. So thank you so much for receiving this reading. Please feel free to comment and just, take your time with receiving this magic. This is your Heka Healing Oracle Reading. Now, I offered these up at $180 for a session. We also get a lot of healings out of this in this session because much will come to light because you will be coming to me with a specific something. So we'll get more fine-tuned with this. This was obviously a group reading for humanity, and this is kind of like what it looks like. But when you work in this manner, it's great for those that you've already done the Heka codes with me. And it's great for those that want to do the Heka codes because this is a perfect like step in, dab in for you to see what this feels like. Do you know what I mean? And work with the energy in this way. So we have the Heka codes mentorship, which is a one-on-one, and we have the Heka Healing Oracle Reading, which is this here. And, and of course, if you just want to dab in, you've also got the masterclass on the channel as well. And, deep explanations of Heka. The Heka will help you use it as an ascension template step by step for you to move into the next realm. So with love and blessings, as always, I leave this with you. Thank you for watching. I'll speak to you soon. Peace.